Well, today is Friday, so I'm at the Top place and Cambridge. Just picked up my tarps, and this video just illustrates the usefulness of a Mustang, Ford Mustang in a household. So you can do a lot with these things. You know, you can carry tarps. We managed to squeeze in two humongous 24 by 27 tarps, which were just repaired. You see? SERGEI DRATCHEV 24 by 27. And I put blankets in, I get rid of some junk that I had in the trunk, and it fit, you know. Now I'll just put another blanket over here so that it doesn't smear my door. And we're good to go. Getting them out all by myself, especially in the back there, it was pretty tight. So I think I want to put them on the same spot where I had them before, in the very back over there. Let's do it. Maybe I should get my gloves. And actually, I did want to come right away with the tarps. I thought I'd go do my business, you know, look for a load. And I wanted to take a picture of the tarps in my trunk, you know, just to illustrate the point. And I realized that I forgot my phone, which of course is not good. And this is just the stuff I removed from the car in order to make room. So yeah, the trailer is still here. See, I didn't hook up, sits on blocks, ready to go, ready to work. I'm really not looking to this so early in the morning, but what do you do? And these are the blankets I used when protecting the tarps. Alright, this one is good. So basically this video will be of interest to truckers who are smart to own a Ford Mustang, a beautiful vehicle. And now with unusual features, utility features. So this is probably about 120 pounds. So about 50 kilos, like no joke. And that's where I had them before. I'll just put a strap over here on them, All right, one is done. Now I can move my backpack to its proper favorite place, because it doesn't like sitting there. Now this one was a bit tight. But where determination is, the way will be found. That's the exciting part of trucking, dealing with tarps. And I thought I was past this, but that's it. And then later on I'll just put some straps over them. Not gonna do it now. Just hoping that somebody will steal them, you know? If they steal them, then I don't have to tarp. It's not my fault. Alright, now we can put this junk back in here. And we're good to go. That wasn't so hard, was it? See? Ford Mustang is a very trucker-friendly vehicle. I'm gonna move this later. For now, that's how I stacked it after unloading. Okay, did I bring my phone? Yeah, I got the phone. Oh yeah, and the guy already emailed me some design ideas, which is funny. So he totally disregarded what I wanted. I told him, give me some cubes, like squares, you know, like make a bunch of squares, like yellow squares like this, you know, kind of like a taxi, except, you know, I said maybe it's here and something over here. The guy yesterday sends me like 4 pictures. He put that crazy one line here with a doodle. I hate those, like no sense whatsoever. And then he puts a band like this, like a line like this. I don't know where he found the space, like this one. I'm serious, like 1 foot. And then the other one he put in somewhere I forgot. And then one more was he just added a yellow stripe in here, and I kind of like that one. So yellow and red, that's what I'm thinking, or just basically one color. And I was thinking maybe just adding, you know, like a line like, oh wait a second, where does that come from? I just noticed that. Yeah, a couple of times I had to come close to some trees. Huh. Shit. I remember them hitting my pipe, but I had to do it because otherwise my trailer would not, you know, I couldn't make the turn. Some of the places you have to go really, yeah, it's on that side only. Jesus, like my truck just isn't getting any luck. Well, it's not too deep, so I think it can be polished. Shoot. But anyway, so I'll ask these guys when they're installing the decals, maybe do something about that. I'm pretty sure they have some kind of a, yeah, they have one of those, you know, spinning machines. They can just cover it up, no big deal. Like I always say, it's a working truck. But yeah, I just wanted to add a couple of, you know, like a couple of lines, you know, like maybe a line here, you know, something just to make the truck look a bit more exciting. It's a good truck. It's the best truck I've owned so far, and I've owned a bunch of them. Well, actually this is my number 3. International with a cat, Mac with MP8 13-liter, and now the Cummins. And Cummins refuses, sorry, I was just checking if we are recording or not. I don't trust these GoPros one bit, but I have a spare one, right? And Cummins refuses to upgrade the torque. They say they cannot do it. I have all the power, all the torque, so they don't want to do dyno tuning, which I'm positive 200% is available. Now the next project for me is not going to be on the truck, it's going to be on the car. And I mentioned this on Facebook, and as usual there was a bunch of idiotic comments. But one part of the car that I'm not happy with is the shifter. And I researched online, and a lot of people say that the stock shifter, which this one is the new term I learned in English is mushy. M-U-S-H-Y, mushy, right? So it's like uncertain shifts, you know, it's very, basically the free play is too much. Now we're just gonna show you, right? So this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. See? And so I want to replace the entire thing, the bottom part. Like it'll be, I ordered the entire assembly. It's a new shifter from Button, but I don't want to change this car. I love how it sounds. I love the power. With the tuner, with the exhaust, I think I have about with 373 axle ratio, I think I have about 340 horse at the crank. So about 20 was gained probably from the exhaust. Let's say 5 from the K&N filter, because I did feel the difference, so that's 325. And then the tuner probably 20, so 345. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm guessing it feels very, very fast. But you always want more, right? So the next project, once I get the cash together, is gonna be a Pro Charger supercharger. If you're not familiar with the superchargers, tell me that doesn't sound good, you know. I love the exhaust on this car. It's a bit loud, but you know, you get used to it. I'm still having some doubts about the supercharger because that one adds about 50-60 horsepower, and the winter is coming, right? I don't want to be stuck in the ice somewhere, because last winter was fun, but it was a bit challenging with this car. And so if I have 350 now, I should have about 450, so pretty much the level of a GT. And actually a lot of videos online do a comparison, and they say a V6 with a supercharger will beat stock GT because it's lighter, right? The weight of my car is about 200 pounds, 250 less than a GT, you know. And it's more economical, it's better on fuel. That's why one of the reasons I don't want to get a GT, because with this one I don't care about speed. I can drive fast, I can enjoy myself on the freeway. I don't think about fuel economy. But when I had these big engines, when I had the you know Dodge and Ford F-150 with 5-liter, I was always, in the back of my mind was always the fuel mileage, because I could see the needle moving, right? But when I had the Mazda with 2-liter and 2.5-liter, that's one thing I liked about small engines, that yeah, you drive faster usually than in a car with a big engine, because the economy is so much better, you know. At least for me, there's no psychological, you know, push to slow down. And this V6, in my opinion, is a best kind of like, you know, compromise between fuel economy and power. But now we're gonna tilt that balance a little bit towards towards more power with the supercharger. They're very expensive, but it's still cheaper than buying a GT, even though we still have the sale in Canada here in Ontario. The prices are like 3,000 to 5,000 Canadian less than during the other times of the year, because we have this Ford employee pricing. So basically they're saying that the prices they're offering now is the same what people that work at Ford pay. And then you go talk to salespeople, and they, oh, you pay what we pay. No, you're not an employee of the Ford, you're a dealer, so you're still making money, right? So they're using that as justification not to give you any more discounts. And I don't know, like I said, I'm not racing, and I still don't understand why so many people hate V6, you know? Like for a daily car, or for me it's not even a daily car, it's a... Uh-oh, look at this guy. He's taking it very wide. In a maroon reddish Pete. IFS. Mac aluminum 53 tandem flatbed with the top kit. So yeah, like I said, I don't understand why so many people hate V6, because I don't know, I believe it's a great car, and to pay $10,000 more just for that emblem, you know, with the logo with the GT, and that's, I don't know, to me it's crazy. And one day this car will be in a museum. because it was driven by a heavy haul TV owner, SERGEI DRATCHEV, but joking aside, it's the last year, right? When I bought it, was the last year when they were making V6. And maybe someday they will realize their mistake. When all these echo boosts, they will start failing. Because I started saying about superchargers versus turbo. So if somebody does not know, a supercharger is the same turbo like what I have on my Cummins, right? The same principle. It creates high pressure air, but in a supercharger it's driven by a belt, right? The turbo it's kind of like always on, because the engine is spinning, right? The crank, and it's hooked up to the supercharger, and that one always spinning. Whereas turbo is just with the diesel engines. It uses exhaust gases, right? It uses that waste gate, whatever. And one drawback of turbos is that there's a lag. When you push the gas or throttle, it does not respond immediately, whereas the superchargers respond right away. There's no lag. And the second feature is that superchargers are said to be more reliable. They're easier to install, but most manufacturers prefer turbo cars. Why? Because they are under constant pressure from the government to show better fuel mileage, and turbos help with that because they can use a small engine, like a 4-cylinder engine, like what they do now in the Mustang, right? You have a 2.3 liter V4, and of course that engine gets better fuel economy than, let's say, a GT or a V6, because it's a small engine. And turbo just still gives you power. And I checked the ratings. Let's say the EcoBoost Ford has 310 horsepower, but it has 350 torque, you know, whereas my car only has 250 torque. So even a turbo, of course, it's still a winning proposition. Okay, I was still recording. I'm talking here for half an hour, 22 minutes, I think. All right, that's gonna be a record. For some reason now my glasses are all fogged up. But anyway, so and so that's the turbo. The turbo allows you to use a small engine, so your fuel economy is good. And it's a confusion. So basically, I'm in the mode now, I'm still doing more research, but there's a confusion online about which one is better for a daily driven vehicle. Some people say turbos are better, some people say superchargers are better, but there's a bunch of them. That's one cool thing about Ford Mustang cars, is that they're bought by, a lot of them are bought by car enthusiasts, right? Like me, who wants to modify them, upgrade them, make them faster, you know, more powerful. And so there's a huge market of parts. So online you can find, like, basically if I want to spend, I don't know, 3-5 grand, which I don't, I can make my car look like a GT. You know, I can change all lights, I can change skirts, I can change bumpers, logos, I can change wheels, I can change the dashboard, I can change the steering wheel, doors, seats, anything. You know, it's like you can have your own in your garage. You can have your own little mini factory, and you can change your Mustang to anything that suits your you know, liking. And that's one thing I like, that the Mustang enthusiast parts market is so huge, you know. But I did find a guy, but basically, what for me, Oh, and yesterday I watched a video about a guy testing a supercharger, but this guy, I don't know what, he put a supercharger on a GT, on a 5-liter V8, which already has 460 horsepower, and he says it's his driven vehicle, like daily driver, so he drives it daily to work. I don't think that's a good idea, you know. And he did notice fuel economy go down even further, whereas GT is not known for its fuel economy, but he says the fuel economy on the freeway when he's cruising, it's okay. He says it pretty much didn't change, but in the city he can see it became worse. Well, of course, what do you expect? You probably have like 600 horsepower now, and the more horsepower you have, the more fuel you will burn. It's a given. But yeah, oh, and this guy, he did a video, he put his dad in the passenger seat, and he did a video about priceless reactions of my dad to the new supercharged GT. And yeah, you can see, like, well, he does not show the road, he only shows, like, the camera only shows the driver, this kid and his dad, and you can see how they push into their seats, and the father can't help but, you know, smile. First he says, easy, easy now, easy. But then at the end of the video, they're almost doing like yeehaw together, you know. Oh, but the kid says, he says, wait, you will not see any like real pull until about 4,000 RPM, you know. And to me, that's not good. 4,000. I never drive at 4,000 because, well, only when I'm going through gears, but on the freeway at 75 miles per hour, this car does 2,500 RPM, right? So that's where I want to have the power. I want to have the power under 3,000, you know. And that's what, for me, what's important, what I'm trying to determine, which will be better, a turbo or a supercharger. But as far as superchargers are concerned, there's only one known brand, ProCharger, that I trust because they've been around for a long time, and the installation instructions are very detailed. It's like a book, you know, like 200-page book. And they say it's relatively simple. Everybody knows them. There's a bunch of dealers around, even in Canada, you know. And I found a shop in the Buffalo, New York area. They can order it for me. They can order the kit, and they can install it. But he wants a prepayment of the kit, which is a bunch of money up front. So that's why now we're looking for a load. We need to make more money to finance further upgrades. So I know a lot of people will like this video very much, so just leave your likes, subscribe, and comment below. Check you later.